Alright, so good day everyone. Ayan, so I hope that everybody is doing good. So for today's session, I'll be discussing one of the content or topic that is included to your midterm examination. So the title is all about soup in the sandwich preparation. Okay, so for our learning objectives class, at the end of the session, the students must be able to define sandwich and soup preparation, to identify its characteristics, and lastly, to demonstrate the preparation of sandwich and soup. So yung last objectives natin class, yung number 3, hindi na po natin to i-discuss kasi um, patungkol na to sa application. So nauna po yung application ninyo during your laboratory 2 weeks ago, no? So, hindi na natin siya isasama for the discussion. Okay? So, only LO1 and 2 ang ating aaralin today. Okay? So, let's start. So, I have a question first now before we proceed with the definition when we say soup. So, what do you think is the essence, no? Or ano ba klase yung importance? Why do we need to prepare soup, most especially, no, in food industry? We need to offer different soup flavors, okay? Different flavors in the different garnishes, no, and whatsoever. So, bakit ba natin siya kailangan i-offer sa loob ng restaurant? Okay? Or kahit hindi sa restaurant, no, kahit sa mga small food businesses lang. Okay? So, syempre, one of the reason is that soup preparation is very vital kasi it maximize the nutritional value, no? And also, it boosts the hydration and digestion of a person. Ito po yung mga benefits na pwede nating makita. No? Why do we need to provide or serve soup sa mga restaurant? And also, kung mapapansin nyo, it allows also a balanced intake of nutrients. Okay? Kasi bakit? May mga soup na merong ingredients like vegetables, no? And other healthy ingredients na nag-i-include sa diet ng isang tao. Okay? And ngayon, i-define natin ano ba yung soup na tinatawag. So when we say soup, this is a liquid dish typically made by boiling meat or boiling fish or boiling vegetables in stock or water. So other definition, when we say soup class, this is also a substance or mixture perceived to resemble soup in appearance or consistency. Okay? So ngayon, ang soup class is na-divide into 2 classification. Okay? So based on the definition, gusto ko lang tandaan ninyo, number 1, this is a liquid dish because of the presence of stock in water. Yan yung pinaka-main at common ingredient ng soup. And also, makikita natin sa definition, this is a mixture, a substance mixture na kung saan it gives the perfect appearance and consistency ng isang dish. Bakit may word tayong perfect when it comes to appearance and consistency? Kasi po, sa soup, normally, ito po yung mas mabilis mapamilyar ng customer. No? If this is a thin or a thick soup, kasi may classification siya. So, dapat nag-a-appear kung anong klase po ng soup yung sineserve sa kanila. That's why very familiar dapat yung chef or even yung mga food servers sa appearance and consistency ng soup sa mga food service industry. And ngayon, yung classification natin ng soup, meron tayong tinatawag na clear or thin soup. So pag sinabi nating thin soups, they are like broths and consomme are based on clear stock. So ngayon, yung pinaka-liquid or sabaw, ng soup class is nanggagaling po sa pinagkuluan. Pag sinabing tin soup, pwedeng gamit po ay chicken, pwede pong gamit ay beef, pwedeng pork, pwede rin pong fish. So yung pinagpakuluan po nun, it is considered as a clear stock na kung saan pwede po natin siyang gamitin as the base or foundation ng isang soup. Okay? So, hindi lang water agad. Di ba? Usually, may mga soup tayong pine-prepare water agad. Pero kapag tin soups, kailangan merong broths. Okay? So, the similar words for soup are broth or brick or boilon. Okay? Alin doon sa tatlo. The similar words when we say soup is, it is broth, broth, brick. The spelling is B-R-I-C-K or boilon. Okay? So, another classification of soup class is what we call thick soups. So, when we say thick soups, they are often made with pureed vegetables, cream, or a combination of both. Examples like chowders or veloutés. So, ang kaibahan class ng thick soup, normally makikita niyo yan, appearance pa lang medyo malapot po, no? Ang thick soup compare sa thin, though pareha silang liquid. Okay? So, ano yung nagpapathick sa mga soups na to? Okay? So, meron po tayong hinahalong ingredients like vegetables, no? Like carrots, potatoes, kamote, and so on. Kaya nadadagdagan yung kapal ng consistency ng soup na pine-prepare natin. Or kung ayaw mo naman maglagay ng vegetables, pwede naman siyang maging thick din, pero may mga i-add tayong iba pang ingredients like cream, pwede rin coconut, okay, or gata, or pwede naman din gumamit ng mga powdered like cornstarch, pwede ding mga APF or all-purpose flour na pangpalapot ng soup. Or even a milk. Okay? Yung mga fresh milk, pakukuluan lang yan ng matagal. Then at the end of the day, patatagalin lang natin siya ng simmer, lalapot din siya. So yun yung mga ginagamit nating pampalapot sa thick soup aside from pureed vegetables. Okay? Pag sinabi pong pureed vegetables, ito po ay pwedeng gumamit tayo ng blender, na crush natin lahat ng vegetables. Okay? Or pwede naman po, ito po ay pinakuluan hanggang sa siya ay lumambot at madurog. Okay? Na hinahalo sa soup. So example natin ng chowder, ayan, makikita niyo po dito sa picture, meron po siyang mga ingredients, no? Sa tatlong picture na yan, hindi natin ma-identify kung anong ingredients, but normally, sa thick soup, gaya ng sabi ko kanina, may mga accompaniment siya na iba't ibang klase po ng ingredients. Not just the vegetables, we can include meat, croutons, pwede din tayong maglagay ng mga toasted bread on the top, and that is considered as chowder. Okay? So, meron din tayong klase ng thick soup, which is what we call velouté. Okay? So, mapapansin ninyo, dyan sa picture natin, anong kaibahan ng chowder sa velouté? Ang velouté, para lang siyang, mas familiar kayo siguro, no, kung imagine niyo, para lang siyang atypical sauce. Wala siyang masyadong halong ibang meats or vegetables, no? Kundi pure lang po yung pagka-thick ng soup. Though may timpla po ito, may flavor yan. Okay? Pero, if you look this illustration, it's look like a sauce lang. Okay? Unlike kanina, sa chowder natin, is marami po tayong pwedeng ilagay na ingredients, depende po sa choice natin as a chef. Okay? At ang chowder pala, balikan ko lang sa chowder, we can use also, aside from vegetables, pwede po ang mag-contain ang chowders ng fish, pwede po tayong maglagay ng ng clams, pwede pong corn with potatoes, and pwede rin pong onions ang ilagay natin para lumapot siya. So, ano lang, at additional information lang ng chowder soup. So, it is a French cuisine. So, it's not a Filipino cuisine. Kasi pag Filipino, galing sa atin yung mga sopas. Yan. Okay? Ano pa ba yung mga Filipino, ano natin? Lugaw. No? Pero ito pong chowder is a French cuisine po. Okay? It is related to Old Northern French cuisine, which is inadapt na din natin here in the Philippines. No, we Filipinos kasi syempre a part ng creativity, and sometimes we need to explore some dishes. That's why even us are preparing chowder. Kaya kahit mga pang French cuisine, kaya na rin i-prepare ng mga Filipino chef. And also, yung velouté naman, if ang chowder po is sa French, ang velouté naman po ay, actually the velouté, if you're familiar with the five mother sauces, ito po yung foundation niyan eh. In order for you to create a velouté soup, syempre you need to create also a velouté soup. Okay po? So, yung five mother sauces natin, ano ko lang siya, insert ko lang ng mabilisan. Though, hindi kasama sa exam yung five mother sauces. Di ba, we have the bechamel, Espanyol, velouté, ano pa? If you still remember sa cookery subject ninyo, bechamel is the white sauce. And then, pag sinabi nating Espanyol, the color of that sauce is, it's usually made from beef, stock of the beef or veal. Diba? Bechamel is white because it is coming from the butter, flour, and milk. And then yung velouté naman natin coming from butter and flour. As you can see, parang light yung color dito, diba? Kasi pag hinalo natin yung butter and flour lang, makakapag-create tayo ng medyo light color ng stock. And hollandaise also is part of the mother sauces, and usually ang ingredients nito, yung hollandaise, is the combination of butter, egg yolks, lemon juice, and other seasonings. Okay? So, ang kulay ng hollandaise usually parang is a tangerine or parang orange, pero hindi siya brown, darker orange, something like that. Okay? And also, we have the characteristics of a good soup. So, if you're a chef, syempre, kailangan nating mas mag-serve or mag-provide ng very pleasing. Okay? Pleasing na pagkakaluto ng soup. So, number one, na kailangan nating makita sa character ng isang pleasing or good type of soup is the use of flavorful stocks. So, regardless if that is thin or thick soup, mas maganda class that you need to provide a stock as the base. Sabihin, talagang may pakukuluan dapat kayo. It's not just pakulo ng tubig with Knorr cubes or magic syrup. It's not like that. Kailangan kahit ano lang yan. Kahit buto lang yan ng manok, buto ng pata. Okay? Pwede po yung gamitin. So that yung pinaglagaan, mas powerful po yung taste niya. And that is one of the characteristic of a good soup. And another is the inclusion of various ingredients. So, what are those ideal or quality ingredients na pwede nating ilagay dun sa flavored stocks na? Okay? Marami pwedeng ilagay kasi depende po sa ipe-prepare nyo. Chowder ba yan? Velouté ba yan? Ano ba klaseng soup yung ipe-prepare natin? So, parang sinasabi lang dito sa characteristic, you don't need to prepare just pakulo from the stocks. Though sabi natin kanina, if the tin soup is coming from the stock alone, pero may mga ingredients ka pa rin nilalagay eh. Halimbawa, if that is tin soup, yung pinaglagaan lang ng baka, At the end of the day, you will put pwede kang maglagay ng nalagang corn, ano pa, pwedeng kamote, okay? Ano pa pwede mong ilagay dun sa tin soup mo na yan? Pandan leaves, di ba? Meron pa ring inclusion of ingredients. Sa thick soup naman, mas marami. Di ba? Halimbawa natin sopas. Ang daming ingredients sa sopas, di ba? May carrots na, iba naglalagay pa ng patatas, may giniling, may hotdogs pa, may repolyo, and maglalagay pa ng nilagang itlog. At most of the time, katulad ko, naglalagay pa ako ng bacon bits. Nagtutoast ako ng bacon bits as toppings. Very perfect yung sopas. Mahal lang kasi dami mong ingredients na nilalagay. Or sometimes I'm not using nilagang itlog. Okay? Mas ang preferred ko pong ilagay is pugo. Okay? And then, of course, sa number 3, sabi ko nga kanina sa definition ng soup is the appearance in the consistency. So ngayon, if that is thin or thick, dapat malinaw po kung anong color and appearance ng kailangang i-provide ni chef. Clarity of color. What I mean is that if that is a sopas, normally the color of the liquid content is white. Nagre-red lang ng konti because of the hot dogs, but the common color is white. So, ang sopas po ay never pong magiging kulay green or kulay violet. Because of the creativity, lagay natin ng food color para may sopas na violet, may sopas na green. It's not like that. Very delicate po ang pag-prepare ng soup. So, kailangan po, consistent, kulay pa lang. And syempre, it will add even the taste, no? Kasama po yun. Ano pa example na clarity of color? You will prepare halimbawa sinigang. So, tanggalin mo yung ibang ingredients na sinigang, yung pinakasabaw nun, thin soup na yan eh. Lagyan lang ng konting kangkong okra. Pwede na yung iserve. Makukonsider natin yan sa mga restaurant which is the casual, soup na rin ang sinigang. Ngayon, ano expected mo kay sinigang? Transparent ang kulay ng liquid niyan. So, if that is sinigang, hindi mo dapat lagyan ng gatas yan. Because of, again, lagyan natin to ng fresh milk para maasim tas may konting gatas. Para maasim na parang maputi lang siya tingnan, ma'am, kasi para kakaiba naman. So again, sa pagiging chef, hindi din natin ginagamit yung sobrang power natin sa creativity. Kasi dapat may limitations yung pagiging creative natin somehow. Okay? Sa iba siguro, sa ibang klase ng dishes, pwede mo apply yan. Very, playful ka sa pag-create. Pero may mga klase tayo ng dishes na talagang they are consistent lang. Hindi natin kailangan baguhin. Hindi natin kailangan siyang palitan. Okay? So, another is, characteristic of a soup is the temperature. So, yung temperature natin, class, syempre, okay, sabi ko nga, lagi kong binabanggit sa inyo that we need to serve hot foods hot, cold foods cold. So, kapag natapos na magsalang o mailuto ang soup, mas maganda po na serve yan ni chef nang medyo may usok pa. Talagang mainit pa pagdating sa table ni guest. And that is the good temperature. Hindi yung maligamgam na, hindi yung sobrang lamig na. Hindi na nila ma-appreciate. Kasi ang soup, masarap yan higupin once in good temperature if that is hot. And also, gusto ko rin sa inyo inform na may mga soup din po tayo na cold. Okay? Hindi po lahat ng soup is, ma'am, soup po yan, kailangan mainit. In other country, may mga cold soup din po silang sineserve. Sa atin, hindi tayo sanay doon, Filipinos, kasi sanay tayo sa mainit lahat ng sabaw. Pero meron tayong tinatawag halimbawa na cucumber soup. Okay, familiar kayo dyan? This is a traditional Polish and Lithuanian soup made from sour, salted cucumbers, and potato. Okay? So, cucumber soup class as our sample is a soup that use pipino in Tagalog as primary ingredients, and it is present in various cuisines. So, sa ibang mga cuisine, except we, Filipinos, we're not serving, or we're not familiar with cold soup. Pero marami pa yan aside from the cucumber soup. Okay? So, always remember on that. So next is we have, ayan, and yan, sabi nga sa quotation, only the pure in the heart can make a good soup. So I want you to expound this quotation, no? Ano bang minimean ng statement na to that only the pure in the heart can make a good soup? So ibig sabihin nito, if you follow or you are knowledgeable with the characteristic, pwede po tayong makapag-prepare ng good soup regardless if that is thin or thick. So always remember that everything na nai-intake nating informations like this, if you're listening, no? Lahat po yan is, aside from learning, kailangan mag-stock yan inside our heart so that once we apply that, no, iba yung magiging reflection kasi from the bottom of your heart, you're doing this dahil you want to learn and you want to see the outcome of that specific dish na almost perfect pagdating sa outcome. Okay, so always remember on that. So if other students has their own opinion, so I want you to think of this quotation that only the pure in the heart can make a good soup. So I do believe that everybody naman, 'di ba? As a first year student, no, you have a lot of recipe, masterpiece in your own kitchen at home, and even on my assessment, no, from the previous term, you have a lot of skills to contribute the member of the group. So I was amazed with that skill. So ibig sabihin, everybody has the heart to do that simple recipe. So that's the quotation all about, diba? So next is we have another preparation is what we call sandwich or the sandwiches. Oh, definition wise, this is a food item made with two slices of bread enclosing a filling. And we know that there's other definition in your own mind when we say sandwich. No, some of you will think of, ma'am, a bread is consist of just a simple spread, just a simple ingredients. Once we put it on different kind or types of bread, it is considered as sandwich. And that's good, no? So sino ba sa inyo dito loves to prepare different different sandwiches, lalo na nung nag-Holy Week, 'di ba? So lahat tayo food trip lang sa bahay. Tama ba? Lahat tayo nag-food trip lang din sa bahay. So ngayon, ano ba yung mga na-prepare nyo kung meron mang sandwich? Ako kasi I used to prepare a simple pandesal. Then I cut it into two. Of course, syempre, dalawa kami ni Sir Jero nyo. Okay? I cut it into two. Tinoast ko lang siya sa butter with brown sugar. And then, naglagay ako ng strawberry jam on the top. So, both slices. And then, sa taas po ng strawberry jam, I don't know if you want the taste. And then, I put some ube halaya on the top of that pandesal. Okay? And then, as si Sir Gerald din nyo, since two slices nga siya, no, nakakat na nga, kinat ko siya into two. So, nagkahiwalay na yung pandesal. Ang ginawa is pinagpatong pa din niya. So, parang na-arrange ulit siya, nabuo ulit yung kinat kong pandesal. So, that is as another consideration of the one of the definition, I guess, ng sandwich natin. So, if you have a simple filling or any types of bread will do So, we can consider that as a sandwich. Okay? At meron din classification of sandwiches. So, mapapansin niyo we have eight here. So, yung 8 na to, pinwheel, meron tayong grilled, meron tayong deep fried, merong hot open face sandwich, wrap sandwich, clubhouse sandwich, tea sandwiches, and canapé. So, ngayon, gusto ko kayo din yung mag-aral. Gusto ko kayo yung mag-search, no? At sinadya kong din na maglagay ng mga sample pictures dito. So, if you're listening up to now, I want you to create a simple collage, but this is by group, okay? A simple collage wherein pag ikagrab nyo lang siya through Google, sample ng pinwheel sandwich, grilled sandwich, itong 8 na to. And then, a simple collage will do. Pagsamasamahin nyo lang siya into one photo with the caption, types of sandwiches, and then the group members. Okay? So, ganun lang po kasimple. And then, after watching this, sa mga very good, mache-check ko naman yan, pakisend na agad. Okay? Pakisend agad. Yun lang instruction ko sa GC natin. Okay? So, kahit isang representative lang sa group, pwede na yon kung sinong gustong gumawa. Okay? And then, members of the group na lang. Okay? Kasama po ito sa pag-grade ko pa sa inyo sa midterm. Okay, so we have 8 At sa laboratory, ang mga nagawa nyo, actually, hindi itong 8. Nagdepende ako sa types of bread. Kasi isa rin yan sa karakteristik mamaya maano ko sa inyo, yung type of bread na ginagamit sa paggawa ng sandwiches. So, normally sa inyo, nung laboratory natin, more of clubhouse, ang napansin ko at saka grilled. Yan. Merong nag-hot open face, pero kasi kinover din ulit Pag sinabi kasing hot oven paste, talagang nakatoppings lang siya sa isang slice of bread. Nandun lahat yung mga But anyway, yan, mas ma-expound nyo to pag nakita nyo yung mga sample pictures. So I want you to search one picture lang. So 8 lang ang nasa collage. So na lang, sino po sa inyo ang magte-take initiative on that? And kindly send it through our GC po. Hindi po sa hindi po sa Schoology, sa GC. Okay, sandwich characteristics are, meron din po tayong sineserve na hot and cold. Ano po ba yun, ma'am? Pag sabi po bang cold, yung tinapay po i-rep? No, it's not like that. Pag sinabi po natin cold, normally po yung fillings, doon nang gagaling yung, kumbaga, na-store na natin sa refrigerator yung ating spread or fillings para sa bread. Halimbawa, gagawa kayo ng canapé. Ang canapé po, ang composition niyan, a simple feta bread, a biscuit lang po, and then magta-toppings tayo ng mayonnaise na mayroong nakahalong century tuna, may nakahalo halimbawang pipino. Imimix mo lang yon. Pwede mong gawin ang fillings or spread sa gabi. I-rep mo na yan. So, ang tendency, kinabukasan, kung gusto mo siya i-serve, sa normal na pita bread, malamig na siya. Kasi niref mo na yung fillings na nabanggit ko. So, kaya siya natatawag as cold. Hindi po actually yung biskwit o tinapay po ang pinapalamig. Nakukuha natin, sana nakukuha. So, pag sinabi naman pong hot, usually ito po yung pan, grilled pan bread, yan. Pero yung mga galing lang sa tasty bags, no, binili from the grocery, pag hindi na ininit, hindi mo rin siya masasabing hot. So, ano pong gagawin natin? Since characteristic siya ng sandwich, regardless kung anong gagawin mong layering, kailangan pala siyang ito-toast or iinit kahit 1 to 2 minutes lang as one of the good characteristic. Pero lahat naman kayo, nakakatuwa kasi nung gumawa kayo ng sandwich nung mga nakaraan, talagang kahit papano nilagay nyo sa sabi ng iba, ma'am, paggugulungin muna namin sa butter, iinit. And that's good. Ina-observe ko kayo during that time. Because one of the characteristic is hot. Kung meron man na nag-direct na sa bread, it's okay. It's okay. Wala tayong bearing doon. That's why you need to learn nga Wala pong problema. Okay? So ngayon, alam nyo na. Okay po. And then, must have the main ingredients. So, ano po yung main ingredients, characteristic ng sandwich natin? Okay, ba't may sandwich namin? Ano to? Pagrupo nyo ako. Okay? Siyempre, presence of the bread, any types. Always remember in preparation of the sandwich po, mas maganda class na mamili kayo ng makapal na tinapay. Okay? Mas maganda na yung bread po na pipiliin nyo po ay quality in high brand din sana. Okay? So, ano ba yung mga hindi gaanong kagandang brand ng bread na hindi magandang pang sandwich? Yang, ayun, I will not mention the name na, no? Huwag na tayo mag-mention ng pangalan, baka maano tayo. Okay, alam ko familiar kayo na nabibili nyo yan usually sa supermarket at ito po yung isa sa pinakamura na brand ng Tasty. So bakit naman ma'am, para namang kakainin lang din naman, mamimili pa ba ng tinapay? Kasi if you want to serve it inside the restaurant, syempre mas gusto mo maging consistent at mag-retain yung itsura ng sandwich na yan. Di ba? If that is Clubhouse, paano kung kakainin pa ng guest yan after 15 to 20 minutes kasi nakikipagdaldalan pa siya? Or kasi ayaw niya pa kainin kasi mas unahin niyang kainin yung pasta. So may tendency na magsag yan o bumagsak kasi yung feelings tumatagal na nakastack up. 'Di ba? Kaya nga ang sandwiches kapag in-order doon lang ina-arrange eh. Wala kayong nakita na sandwich na naka-arrange na kapag in-order ilalabas na lang. Unless i-ref mo yan at naka-cling wrap yan at isusupot na natin. Pero kung hindi siya advisable. So maganda pong quality ng bread ang pipiliin natin. Okay? So spread, anyway, very good naman kayo kasi almost naman lahat magaganda yung brand ng bread na nabili. May ilang groups lang, pero nasabi ko na rin sa kanila ito, yung nakapag-comment ako. Okay? For improvement nyo yun. Okay? It doesn't mean ang pangit ng gawa, hindi naging maganda, hindi po yun ang focus natin. Kaya nga kayo nag-aaral para matutunan ninyo. So it's okay kung nakabili ng tinapay lang somewhere sa bakery. Wala pong bearing yun. At least ngayon, alam nyo na. Okay? Spread and feelings, dapat natin yan, pinag-isipan. Ano pinag-isipan, ma'am? Magko-complement. Ang ganda nga ng tinapay mo, hindi naman nag-complement yung spread and feeling mo. Halimbawa, yung tinapay mo, yung first layer, strawberry jam. Pagdating sa second layer, naglagay ka na ng mayonnaise. Pagdating sa fourth layer or third layer, sunny side up egg. Kasi, ma'am, ganda po kasi ng kulay eh. Parang lakas po ng appeal ng kulay po na ganito, etc. So, ngayon, ang tendency, creative kayo na way, maganda yung color combination. Sige, pagbigyan natin. Pero, okay ba siyang kainin? Kasi mamaya naghalo-halo yung hindi magko-complement, di ba? So, always, think of the main ingredients. At saka main ba yan? Main ba yung coco jam, strawberry jam, saka yung mga nabanggit ko? Baka hindi naman siya main, yun yung binibigyan mo ng highlight. Okay? And of course, do not forget the garnish. So, yung garnish natin usually at the end. Pwede ka magtusok ng toothpick na may wrapper ng yema. 'Di ba? May mga ganun tayong toothpick na nabibili ready-made na. Alam niyo ba yung balat ng yema, yung may iba't ibang kulay like yellow, green, red, orange, 'di ba? Pwede mo tusukan 'yan. Okay? Or yung mga may payong na toothpick. Ito po ay mga common garnish na pwedeng ilagay sa mga sandwiches. Kasi hindi po ito nag-i-entail na na-sprinklean natin ng dried parsley. Ano pa ba ang mga lalagyan mo ng overload na sauce, dumuduming tingnan. So, kailangan sa pagga-garnish, maingat ka din. Maayos. Okay? So, yun yung mga sinabi ko, okay na yun. Ngayon, kung may naisip kayo na iba pang pwedeng pang-garnish, pwede naman siguro, pero yun nga, kailangan pag-isipan twice or hanggang thrice kung applicable ba. Kung hindi, wag mo nang ilagay. Okay? Simple to elegant kasi from one piece of bread, nag-start na kayo ng layering, nag-iiba na itsura niyan at the end of the day. Lahat kayo naka-experience sa laboratory. From nasa balot ng bag, yung tasty, hanggang sa na-arrange nyo at nabuo nyo, the outcome, ang laki ng kaibahan. Okay? So from bold na tasty, parang nag-turn siya into something like class na tinapay kasi nagkaroon na siya ng garnish at ibang main ingredient as part of the filling or spread. So, ganun dapat. Kung hindi yan magiging eleganting tingnan, okay? Actually, sa ibang dish, ganun din naman ang tinitingnan eh. So, hindi natin yan maisi-serve ng maayos sa customer. So, dapat alam niyo i-define ng simple to elegant. Portion control. Okay, if the plate is too big, Okay? Huwag nyo namang malaki kasi mamang space, pupunuin din. Slices lang pala na triangle ang ilalagay, pwede lang 2 piraso dun. Kung maliit naman ang plato, kunyari platito nyo lang isi-serve, pwede namang 1 piraso yon. Or pwedeng, ano bang klase ba ng tinapay ang ilalagay mo? Ilang servings ba? So, dun magmamatter. Huwag din tambak ng tambak. Marami kaming nagawa eh. Marami po to. Hindi po namin to kayang iuwi lahat. Sige po ma'am, ilatag na namin lahat sa plate para yung evaluator masaya. Malataas grade namin. Something like that. Pero hindi na pala siya balanse dun sa plato. Sobrang overload naman or minsan sobrang aalog-alog naman. So, the proper way is, it's either 1, ano lang yan eh, 1, 3, 4, 6, yan yung mga numbering. It depends upon the cut. Okay? It depends upon the cut ng breads natin. Kasi may mga party cuts, may mga malalaking size. So, it doesn't mean, nagme-mention ako ng number, ayun yung pinaka-standard. What I mean is that you know kung paano i-proportion sa plate ang ating mga sandwiches. And also, balance yung flavor. So, yung flavor kasi, ito yung mas nagbibigay din, o isa sa nagbibigay ng appeal sa, saan? Sa sandwich mismo. So, kung kakayanin daw pong i-combine, no, yung savory taste, spicy, and sweet better. So, that is one of the good characteristic ng sandwich. Itong tatlong to. Kaya nga siya naka-open and close parenthesis. Hindi ko sinasabi may mag-overpower sa isa dito, blending ng savory taste, spicy, and sweet. Hindi rin pwedeng sobrang anghang. Hindi rin sobrang tamis. So, paano mo babalansin yan na nandyan dapat yung tatlong yan? So, sa pag-iisip ng recipe, kailangan matalino ka din na alam mo, ito yung pwedeng ma-extract nating lasa coming from this main ingredient. Sige, gamit tayo ng yema. Ay, kasi something sweet. Ano ilalagay natin something spicy na para mag-blend lang ng flavor? Ano bang connected class sa spicy taste pagdating sa sandwiches? 'Di ba may mga onion tayo na medyo matapang, hindi naman natin sasari pag sinabing spicy, chili powder agad or sili talaga, hindi 'yun. Okay, like onion, may mga onion tayo na kapag kinagat natin may konting anghang, pwede kaya siya? Kung pwede 'yun, tingnan mo din, pwede kaya yung yema? O lagyan na lang natin ng sugar yung mayonnaise? Something like that. Para lang ma-attain yung sweetness. Nakukuha ninyo? Still there? I hope so. Ayan, ito mga sample ng sandwiches natin, no? Nakakatakam, di ba? Ang ganda din ng pagle-layered nila at pag-arrange. Okay? Though lahat naman kayo nakapag-present ng ganito, may ilan lang hindi kasi siguro kailangan pa nila ng ample time to practice ang kanilang skills or baka hindi nila skills ang paggawa ng sandwich pero I am proud kasi most of the groups naman very good sa pag-create ng mga sandwiches and even soup. Okay? Ayan. So I guess this is the end of our lesson today. So again, included ito, isama niyo po ito sa inyong i-review. Pakibalikan na lang sa GC ang announcement, ano po yung content ng midterm exam. At sana napanood po ng maayos at natapos nyo kasi I will not give instructions anymore regarding doon sa may pinapagawa ko kanina sa classification of sandwiches. So thank you for your time and effort watching this video. I hope to see you soon and God bless everyone.